Every year, millions of people do the exact same thing. They watch a flashy product launch, see a few cinematic camera shots, hear words like revolutionary and next generation, and suddenly their perfectly working phone starts feeling old. It's almost like magic. Yesterday, your phone was fast, took great photos, and lasted all day. Today, it somehow feels outdated. But here's the question nobody asks. Did your phone actually become worse overnight? Or were you simply convinced that it did? Today, we're exposing the biggest lie the smartphone industry has been selling for years. And once you see it, you'll never look at smartphone upgrades the same way again.
The upgrade illusion. Let's start with something interesting. Take a phone that launched 3 or 4 years ago. Open Instagram. It works. Open YouTube. It works. Browse the internet. It works. Use Google Maps. It works. Video calls? Perfectly fine. Banking apps? No problem. Messaging? Instant. Streaming? Smooth. For most people, that's over 90% of what they use a smartphone for every single day. So why are companies trying so hard to convince you that you need a new one every year? Because selling you the feeling of being behind is far easier than selling you something you actually need. Bigger numbers don't mean bigger improvements. Every launch event sounds familiar. The fastest chip ever. The brightest display ever. The smartest AI ever. The best camera ever. And technically, they're not lying. Each generation is usually a little better. But here's what they don't tell you. Many of those improvements are so small that most people would never notice them in daily life. If an app opens in 0.6 seconds instead of 0.7 seconds, did your life actually improve? If a photo has slightly more dynamic range, will your family even notice? If your processor scores 20% higher in benchmarks, will scrolling social media suddenly become life-changing? Probably not. Benchmarks sell phones. Real life doesn't care. Cameras have reached a plateau. Camera marketing is probably the industry's favorite trick. Every year we hear, best smartphone camera ever. And yes, every new phone usually does become the best camera that company has ever made. But compare photos taken in daylight from phones released within the last 4 years. Most people can't reliably tell which one is newer. What actually makes photos look better? Good lighting, composition, a clean camera lens, knowing where to stand, not another 48 megapixels. Even professional photographers often say that lighting matters far more than expensive equipment. Yet marketing wants you to believe the opposite. AI is the new buzzword. Now we've entered the AI era. Everything is suddenly AI-powered. AI wallpapers, AI summaries, AI writing, AI photo editing, AI assistants. Some of these features are genuinely useful. But here's the catch. Many of them could have been added to older phones. Instead, they're locked behind newer models. Why? Because exclusive features create a reason to upgrade. Sometimes it's a hardware limitation. Many times, it's simply a business decision. The goal isn't just to make a better phone, it's to make your current phone feel incomplete. Battery anxiety. Here's another clever strategy. People assume poor battery life automatically means it's time for a new phone. Sometimes that's true, but often replacing a worn battery costs a tiny fraction of buying a flagship phone. A fresh battery can make an older device feel surprisingly new. Yet battery replacements rarely get massive advertising campaigns because they don't generate billion-dollar upgrade cycles. Software support isn't the same as phone quality. A phone doesn't suddenly become bad because a newer model exists. In many cases, companies stop providing software updates long before the hardware becomes unusable. That creates a perception that the phone itself is obsolete. But if it still does everything you need safely and reliably, is it really obsolete? Or has its lifespan been artificially shortened? The psychology of missing out.
This is where marketing becomes incredibly powerful. You're not just buying a phone, you're buying status, excitement, novelty, the feeling that you're ahead of everyone else. Social media amplifies this. Influencers unbox the latest phone, reviewers compare tiny differences. Tech channels count down top reasons to upgrade. Suddenly, your perfectly good phone starts feeling old. Not because of performance, but because everyone else seems to have something newer. That's FOMO, fear of missing out. And it's worth billions. The hidden cost. Let's imagine someone upgrades every year. Maybe each upgrade costs around $1,000. Do that for 5 years? That's around $5,000. Imagine investing that money instead, or using it for travel, education, a business, emergency savings. The opportunity cost is enormous. The biggest expense isn't the phone, it's everything that money could have done instead. Who actually needs a new phone? Let's be fair. Some people genuinely should upgrade. If your battery barely lasts, if apps constantly crash, if security updates have ended, if your storage is completely full, if your screen is broken beyond repair, if your work depends on the latest hardware, then upgrading makes sense. Technology exists to solve problems, not to create imaginary ones. A better way to buy phones. Instead of asking, "What's the newest phone?" ask yourself, "What problem am I trying to solve?" Need better battery life? Replace the battery first. Need more storage? Clean unnecessary files or move photos to cloud storage. Need faster performance? Reset the phone before replacing it. Need better photos? Learn photography basics. You'll often get bigger improvements than buying an entirely new device. The real truth of all. The industry wants you to believe happiness is always one upgrade away. But satisfaction doesn't come from owning the newest phone. It comes from using technology intentionally. The best smartphone isn't necessarily the newest. It's the one that does everything you need without making you spend money you didn't have to. So before your next upgrade, ask yourself one simple question. Am I buying a better phone, or am I buying better marketing? That single question could save you hundreds or even thousands of dollars over the next few years. And once you start thinking that way, you'll never see smartphone launches the same again. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more tech myths, smart buying guides, and AI insights that help you save money and make better decisions. Because sometimes the smartest upgrade is skipping one.